Welcome back. So far, you should have added the project name, the project summary, and some goals and deliverables to your project charter. In this video, we'll discuss how to use the charter as a tool to get the project stakeholders in alignment about the project scope and goals. Then, in the upcoming activity, you'll review supporting materials containing information about the Sauce and Spoon tablet rollout. You'll also observe how PETA guides a conversation among disagreeing stakeholders to get alignment on the project charter details. Then, you'll identify key aspects of the conversation that will help you revise and clarify details in the charter you drafted in the last activity. Let's get into it. Anytime you're communicating the details of your project, you need to think about your audience and what information is important to them. When adding details to a project charter, ask yourself the following questions about your audience, and if it's helpful, try answering these questions in your notes. Who are your stakeholders? In this case, your audience includes all of your key stakeholders. What details are most important to them? Are there project details that they might disagree with? Once you've identified what you believe are important details, review your charter and ensure all of those details are included. From there, you'll be able to present the charter to your stakeholders and confirm that everyone agrees with the project information. Think of the project charter this way. In addition to serving as a formal document that defines the project, a project charter is also an alignment tool. Here, alignment refers to reaching agreement between two or more parties. A common cause of project failure is misalignment among stakeholders about the details of the project. Misalignment can also happen between you and your stakeholders when you have differing visions for the project. That's why it's so important to align with your stakeholders before the work begins. Stakeholders generally aren't involved in the day-to-day tasks of project executions, so it's crucial to take time during the initiation phase to create a project charter that clearly lays out the details of a project. This helps ensure that the team is working toward the outcomes expected by all of the stakeholders, and not just some of them. Usually, the initiation phase is the most ideal time to make changes to the project. As the project progresses into the planning and execution phases, substantive changes might require undoing work that's already been completed. So in this early phase of the project lifecycle, you shouldn't be afraid to make adjustments. Here's an example of how you might experience misalignment. Let's say you're discussing the main goals of the Sauce and Spoon project. One stakeholder has a vision of being able to fully automate the ordering experience with the tablets over time. Another stakeholder has a different goal. Rather than fully automating ordering, they want the tablet rollout project to improve order accuracy. To help resolve this situation, a project manager might facilitate a discussion between the two stakeholders to try and reach an agreement to confirm alignment on the project's goals. When you present a project charter to your stakeholders, it's important to collect feedback and identify where there are misalignments. Then, you can make changes to address those misalignments. If you and your stakeholders take the time early on to clearly define the project, then you're much more likely to deliver the outcomes your stakeholders expect at the end of the project. As a project manager, it's important to record the feedback you receive and document any misalignments and their resolutions. This allows you and your project team to reference those decisions later on. One way to document misalignments and resolutions is to create an appendix with a timestamp for new or updated information. An appendix is a section of additional content at the end of a document. A timestamp includes the date and sometimes the time of when the new content was created or added to the document. Awesome. Let's review some of the main ideas we've discussed. Anytime you communicate the details of a project, you need to think about your audience and what information is important to them. In the case of a project charter, your audience is made up of your stakeholders. A common cause of project failure is misalignment among stakeholders about the project details. It's important to take the time during the initiation phase to create a project charter that clearly lays out the key details of a project and to align with your stakeholders before the work begins. And finally, document any misalignments and their resolutions in your notes and the project charter to reference later on. Great job. In the next activity, you'll review supporting materials highlighting how PETA works with stakeholders to reach alignment on the project charter's details. Then, you'll edit your project charter summary, goals, and deliverables based on the additional information you learn. This activity will demonstrate your ability to select key details from conversations that are relevant to a well-written project charter. You'll also have the opportunity to observe and learn as PETA guides the conversation toward an agreement. Once you've completed the activity, meet me in the next video.